Welcome to Miffs. I'm Matt Hoss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Odysseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Miffs. Welcome to Miffs.
Hello and welcome to Miff Podcast. I'm your host Matt Hoss, and what a delight it is to see you here today. And next up we've got some banging tracks and some amazing music for you to hear today. And I'm with my absolutely amazing co-host. It is Mr. Dan Rhodes. Hello, how is it going today?
Hi there, Matt. Thank you for having me.
We are being slick radio professionals today.
We are. We're episode 62. We decided to finally get our professionalism in gear. We decided to do it properly, and we've rehearsed and scripted every single thing we say today, haven't we, Matt?
It's going to be slicker than the moose is back.
Yeah,
That's it's in the script.
In the script, slicker than the moose is back. Matt, tell me a bit about yourself.
Well, I think, if anything, on this podcast, I've said too much about myself. But I'm a very warm, personable, and a friendly guy. Your host. And so, Dan, why am I speaking in this kind of weird radio voice?
I don't know, but I like it, and I think we should keep it up.
Should I make more radio voice? Should I go Frank Zappa on the radio?
Should we go
voice?
1930s radio voice?
Okay there, whippersnapper, let's, it's the wartime Britain, let's go! Like, radio comedy.
Yeah.
I'm Max Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's be radio
Welcome to Miffs, everybody. It's me, Dan Rhodes, my host, Matt Hoss.
May Haas.
Matt Hoss here.
Your female companion.
Matt Hoss here, yeah. Back in 1930s New York.
We from New York? Yeah.
Well, obviously we're from New York, that's why we're doing these radio accents.
I thought I was trying to do like oh, goodness me, pip pip, yes.
No, I think British radio, like wartime radio, is more like, you're listening to the BBC on...
You are listening to the BBC.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How would
Yeah.
they do it? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a radio, like,
Hello
1930s voice. Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to the BBC at 1.
It's very good to me.
I'm Clifford Harrington Binsley.
And I have a acorn
Nose
in
at
my
6.
butt. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like very, like...
Like an acorn in their butt. That's what you just said?
It's in the script. But why, Dan, am I doing this radio voice? Why have I turned on my professionalism so much?
Because Matt has a radio show now on Radio Stockton, 7
Yeah.
till 9 p.m. on Fridays.
I'm a radio DJ, and did I invite my friend Dan Rhodes to be there? Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm officially DJ now, guys. I've got my own show and everything. I'm going to be doing live shows every Friday, and you're welcome to tune in online. And it's very exciting, Dan. And do you know how much of a professional I was during that? I was holding like an ear.
You're holding a fake earpiece.
Yeah, and as if I'm a reporter or something like that. And I wouldn't have to do that in the studio anyway. But yeah, so Dan, are you happy for me?
I am happy for you.
What kind of stuff, what kind of content do you reckon as a DJ I'll bring?
Probably a lot of heavy metal.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, a heavy metal Matt. But I think, in all fairness, although I do love a little bit of metal, I think that I like to keep it broad for the listeners. I want to invoke people in, do some cool niche stuff, but also, open it up to the masses. Matt Hoss for the masses.
16-year-old Matt that made all those playlists and fake radio discs could see you now.
In all fairness, like, when you say 16-year-old Matt Hoss, more like
22.
22-year-old Matt Hoss. Because I'm about when I met some of my very close friends called Luke and Susie. I did this thing with them where we would get drunk in the night in their house, and we would I would put like music, and I'd pretend to do like a radio voice, like "Hello and welcome to Matt FM. Here's all the best songs." And basically, I would like call all the tracks, and that only happened a couple of years ago. So I'm reliving Matt FM. What do you reckon I should have called my show? Because I thought, because it's my first show, and the guy asked me, what do you want to call my show? And I thought, is the Matt Hoss show fine? And he didn't seem quite happy with that. So I suggested maybe Hospital Radio.
Hospital Radio.
That's pretty good.
Music with Matt. Matt's music.
Matt's music.
Magical music time with Matt Hoss. Have you got a jingle for the show?
Not yet, but it goes like this.
BBC Radio Stockton.
It will actually, I think it'll be like this. Welcome to Matt's Hoss Show. What would you do if I actually did that?
That would be funny.
Yeah, I'm for like one person that's ever listened to this podcast. But so Dan, what's have you got a radio show?
No, I don't have a radio show, Matt.
Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Oh, bit unfortunate. And not as cool as me. I seem to be doing a little bit better than you. You know, this is where I skyrocket to the people, the masses of Stockton. You know, and you know, Stockton's a new London.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the heart and soul of that community.
That's good, yeah.
And I will be playing soul music as well.
No,
so.
you've done really well for yourself, Matt. Yeah.
Are you going to be listening, tuning in?
Probably not, no.
Why not?
Why would I listen to Radio Stockton? I can't even get Radio Stockton.
Yes, you can listen online and from your DAB radio, I imagine. I haven't checked. I'm not.
We need to wait until Friday. We'll find out exactly how you can listen to it.
Yeah. So you know, there's. I think I'm gonna have guests on every week and just kind of chat. You know, just chat. Chew the curd. Is that the right term? Chew the fat. That's it.
Chew the fat.
Chew the fat on that horse, which is a diet technique. But yeah, so I'm going to be playing games and just having a bit of a laugh. So do check in every Friday from 7 to 9. So get to hear my dulcet tones. Because if you're like listening every week, it's like, oh, it's Monday, the new Miss podcast episode's out. I've just not done Matt Hoss in my life.
Wait until Friday.
No one's ever thought that before.
No one's ever thought
that. Yeah. but yeah. So that's pretty cool. But Dan, how's your week been?
Pretty good. Went to Krakow, Poland.
Did you go and crack off? I've been dying to use that for the last half an hour, and it hasn't been worth it.
Thank you for that. Yes, I went to the land of the Poland.
So when are you going to go to La La Land? Again, Teletubby jokes. I've been saying this for the whole podcast recording. I was like, oh, I've got some hot jokes, but I hope I don't do this at Radio Stockton.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. Good fun. I would highly recommend. Very affordable. Very interesting, historical. I wouldn't go if you don't like World War II, because it's very World War II heavy. But I don't mind that kind of thing.
Does anyone... Like, I know what you're trying to say, but does anyone like World War II? Not in the terms that they might find it interesting, but no one's like, oh, fucking love World War II, or bloody love...
I'm sure some people get into it.
Yeah, I guess like war reenactment people.
Yeah, war reenactment people.
But no one's a fan. No one's like,
oh, I'm World War II's biggest fan.
That being said, there are probably some far righty people that probably are big fans of that as well.
That's true.
So if you're a Nazi, please email us in at misspodcast@gmail.com.
Krakow's good, full of people doing stag do's.
Oh, really?
A lot of stag do's in Krakow, because it's very cheap there to have
it seems a bit...
Alcohol's very cheap.
But, obviously, let's get to the elephant in the room, but Auschwitz is there, which...
Auschwitz, that is near where Auschwitz is, yes.
So it's kind of weird to have, like, a party destination, like a lot of stag do's, and then also... a genuinely like harrowing experience. I know it's not in the same street. If you know what I mean.
It's not in the same street.
But all I'm saying is that it's got to be.
Although maybe there's a market for stag do's in Auschwitz. I don't know.
Definitely a line we've got to be careful with, Dan. Let's talk about it. Like, how was Auschwitz?
Very interesting. I think everyone should go. I think it's important to know what humans are capable of, and it's sometimes it's important to learn these things.
You took pictures on your camera. Took pictures on your arm, but you and just from like looking at the photos, is genuinely harrowing. If you know what I mean.
It's very weird. Talking about pictures, do you not think this is a bit messed up? I thought it was very inappropriate. You know the sign where it's like, Arbeit marked free, work sets you free or whatever. Over the famous like Iron Gate, loads of like particularly, let's say, young teenage girls, taking like Instagrammable like poses under the like
duck
gate.
Face,
I don't know how I felt about that.
That's weird, isn't it? In fact, I remember when I went to New York and. A lot of people were taking selfies at 9/11 and Ground Zero. And that's a weird time to take a selfie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being like,
you had like a lot of couples with selfie sticks, like pouting and like kissing each other on the cheek, like under the sign. And I was like, what the?
Yeah.
I just think that's a bit inappropriate, really.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
I know that they're on holiday and it's good to be like, hey, we went here, and maybe they're there for the right reasons. They're also there to learn.
Yeah.
I just think there's something.
I think take pictures, but I think it's when because. the whole point of a selfie is it's a self-portrait, isn't it?
Yeah.
To paint yourself with that backdrop, it's either you're bragging that you're there, which isn't a brag, and also, or you're trying to seem important. You're painting yourself into something which you're not meant to be painted into. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it doesn't tell the right message.
I don't really take any pictures of myself. I mean, as anyone who's seen my pictures from holidays will tell you, I don't really have any of them of me in. So I'm not really like that anyway. But I just thought that was particularly.
Yeah. But also, your camera would crack as well. They're like, oh god, damn road.
Exactly, it'd probably explode.
But also, like, what's also interesting with the, again, talking about taste, because this is like, because again in Berlin, which was tastefully done. Like in Berlin, I went to the Jewish Museum, which was it was half art installation, half like museum, and it's genuinely very powerful and moving. But they get it right there, the tone's right, and no one's exploiting that as well. Everyone's on the same page. However, as I said, I went to Ground Zero, and the most American, because people were taking pictures, and it's a very sad vibe. But the worst thing about that, at the end of when you leave, there's a gift shop.
There is a gift shop. Yeah.
That's a bad vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, like a New York gift shop. I've seen that.
Because who wants to buy a T-shirt of an explosion? We're like, whoa, we want the terrorist.
Like a picture of the two Twin Towers.
It's like that's official merchandise as well. Like it's like
Osama bin Laden beards.
Yeah, what if you imagine if it was your job as well? It's like, all right, Dave, you got to create merchandise from the 9/11 shop, okay?
For Ground Zero, you need some merchandise for Ground Zero.
God forbid, we don't make money out of a crisis and people die. So.
No, you're right though. It's just a bit weird, isn't it?
What merchandise would you have at the 9/11 shop?
Can I just say, actually, there was a gift shop. There is a gift shop at Auschwitz.
Was there?
But it's not like key rings and T-shirts. It's like books and DVDs.
So, yeah, because I think when you get into key rings, I think that's the point of tackiness. Isn't it?
No, it's like books and DVDs and stuff.
But I think that's more like further reading kind of thing, saying, oh, if you enjoyed this, why don't you check out this?
Yeah. They were nothing to do with Auschwitz.
Just the Waterstones.
Just the Waterstones, yeah.
Oh, if you enjoyed Auschwitz, here's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. No, I'm joking. Of course, it was Holocaust related. As for the comedy. But no, it was very interesting. No, and everyone should go. You really, really should go. And Krakow in general is a very, very beautiful place. A lot of churches. Churches and beer. That's pretty much what Krakow is.
Did you drink quite a lot in Krakow?
Well, it was like £1 a pint, even in like nice restaurants.
Oh my god, I would drink so much. I'd be so drunk all the time. I wish it was that cheap everywhere, if you know what I mean.
No, it was really, really good.
And you also went to...
Architecture is really nice as well.
You went to the salt mines.
Went to the salt mines? Yeah, the salt mines.
I didn't know this existed until half an hour ago. So
really,
what is
really
it?
Interesting. It's from this...
Because it sounds boring. Salt mines, if you said salt mines to me, it sounds like
it's a late 17th century salt mine that, as of 1996, is no longer a salt mine. But they've basically turned all the old chambers of the mine into like chapels, basically, and like rooms
and caverns,
and there's like chandeliers, and there's actually a working church there, about 120 meters down under the ground.
And do people live there?
People don't live in the mine, but they do service every Sunday, and you can have weddings and stuff down there.
Yeah, it
was very interesting. Yeah,
slightly weird vibe for a wedding, though. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get like it's quite dark. You know what I mean? And sure, you want it to be quite a light day, but also like is salt romantic? Yeah. No, let's pretend we've got our wedding vows and we're in the salt caverns. This is really just prophecy to come. But like, what kind of romantic sentiment could you make with like salt? It'd be like, oh, I'd have you on my chips.
Yeah, that'd be nice actually.
Oh, I got something right. I'll say something to you. You got to say something romantic back. You put it into salt. Be like, Daniel, we're closer. Salt and vinegar. That's pretty good. That's nice.
Yeah. Matt, you are a salty fellow.
Is that romantic? Is that romance in your book?
Yeah.
Imagine you're on the first date. Wow, you taste nice. Oh no!
You're the salt to my pepper.
Oh, that's better. That's better than the salt
of my earth,
And that's funny because we're in a cavern right now under the earth.
See, that's actually quite nice. That's good. There's got to be something. I'll be something like, "Hey, you're like salt because you make everything taste better." That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or it's got something to do with like sodium being like, if anyone tries to get you, I'll be like, nah, which is the chemical symbol for sodium. Yeah, Radio Stockton coming in live. Anyway,
No, it's very interesting though.
Was there any 9/11 merchandise down there?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
Unfortunately not.
But yeah, what other stuff happened in Krakow?
God, what else happened? I had some stroganoff. It was very delicious. I had some vodka. It was surprisingly tasty, actually. Went to a really cool, like, jazz bar. A lot of jazz in Krakow.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like you paid 20 zloty, which is £4, and they make you any cocktail you want.
Really?
You just say like, "Hey, I'm really into this sort of thing," and they're like, "Cool." And like, as they're making it, they're asking you questions like, "Are you liking it? Do you want it sweet? Do you want it sour? How much alcohol do you want in it?" Like, and they just make it for £4. Imagine in London if you went to a bar that made you anything you wanted with the cost of the cocktail. It'd be like £10.
Yeah, exactly. And like, also, I think the best kind of cocktails are the one that you make because you get the feel you vibe, if you know what I mean. Like,
Although whoever was the business manager there was not. He was missing a trick because basically, get this: you come down into a bar, really nice jazz club. There's then like a massive doorway that kind of goes through into another room, and that's where the stage and the jazz performers were doing their thing. They're vibing it. There were like different acts on every 30 minutes, and people there, there were circular tables with the lamps on,
like
and
cabaret,
like cabaret. Yeah, they're listening to the jazz. Now, the
And-
door was really big.
Sorry, I imagine when they're playing the jazz, it sounds a bit like our 1930s voice. Right? Hello, and welcome to the show. How's it going?
Except it was more like Nottingham. Yeah, a lot of people from Nottingham in Krakow.
They came over to see you. Yeah.
I hope no Polish people are listening to this because that was a horrible. There's beautiful language, and I just made that sound horrendous.
I have no people from Nottingham listen to this.
Anyway, so you go into the jazz. There's a bar, and then you go through, and then there's like, but the area where the jazz was, where loads of people were sitting on tables, drinking their cocktails, listening to the jazz. You had to pay to go through into that area to sit down, and like you basically what you're doing is paying to listen to the jazz.
Yeah.
But and there were bouncers and stuff, but because the door was so big, and the bar area was so big, you could quite easily just sit in the bar area where there were also lots of chairs and tables, and still, because no one was really talking that loudly, and still look and see and listen to the jazz. So I don't really know what the point was of paying to go into the room.
It's kind of like, it reminds me when...
maybe it's like an elitist thing, like, we're in this part of the bar.
It seems like they've done one over on you, if you know what I mean. Like, as if you pay money to go in, and they just let you just on the other side, but just behind the wall. It's just exactly the same. It's kind of like, I'm not sure if you've seen the episode of The Simpsons where the family go over to Itchy and Scratchy Land, and he goes, "Sir, would you like to buy £100, $100 worth of Itchy and Scratchy dollars?" It's like, "Yeah, sure," and he buys it all, and then no one accepts Itchy and Scratchy dollars. You know, he's like, "Oh, just been duped by the system." Anyway, Daniel, are you ready to? Have you got anything else to say about Krakow? Any other funny bits? Who did you go with?
My flatmate Liam.
Oh, not me. That's a bit weird, like if we do a podcast together, you haven't invited me on holiday.
Mate, do you want to go on holiday?
No. All right. Are you ready for a myth, Dan?
I am ready for a myth.
The penultimate Odyssey episode. Sorry, I forgot what the sentence was halfway through.
Try again.
It's
The penultimate Odyssey episode.
Welcome to the Odyssey, where we meet a man stranded at sea, searching for home with varying success. Why didn't he just book a National Express?
Dan, well, welcome to episode 62, part 11 of this series, and in this episode, are we gonna get in the right order?
I hope so. Yeah. Apologies to anyone that listened to episode 60.
Hopefully,
it was a shambles.
But I feel that, if anything, I'm quite proud that it's taken us 61 episodes to get that far, because I thought that was definitely day one kind of thing. So
yeah.
But yeah. So what's been happening in the land of Ithaca recently?
Well, it feels like for the last 15 episodes they've just been in the house.
Yeah, he's just been waiting his time.
Yeah,
a lot of dickheads.
More and more people are knowing who he is too, which is bad.
So how about instead of in lieu of a summary, how about I give you a little pop quiz?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So tell me, because obviously Odysseus is planning the suitors all over the house.
Yeah.
How many suitors are there in his palace?
Hundreds.
About 120.
About 119 at last count.
Well, 2 of them died of a heart attack, but yeah. But when so why
well, one would die because you said 120. 119 is one less than 20. Carry on.
In my head, it was I thought I said 121. So why is Odysseus trying to get rid of them?
Because they're trying to bang his wife.
Well, marry his wife.
Trying to marry and bang his wife.
And they're not very nice people.
Not very nice people. They've been there for 20 years or something. Or 10 years.
Yeah, 10
after
years.
the Trojan War, they thought he was dead.
They assume Odysseus isn't there, and they've been trying to kill Telemachus, and they've been trying to become kings of Ithaca, if you know what I mean. However, Penelope's not into it, and what happened in the last episode, Dan?
In the last episode, something quite important happened.
Finally.
One of his servant ladies, Penelope, bathed him.
I think Eurycleia
bathed him, and in bathing noticed a very distinctive hunting wound he has, a scar on his leg.
Yeah, she was giving the disguised Odysseus, because he's dressed as a beggar, a good old cleany bath, but very high up in the thigh.
Very high up in the thigh.
Like, I think it's got to be... I'm going to touch down right now for the purpose, and I think it's got to be right there. Like, it's near nutsack, you know what I mean?
Near nutsack. Just for a reference, Matt leaned over me and touched the leg furthest away from him.
Yeah.
He touched...
How far away in centimetres away from your genitals? You're going to get a ruler as well.
About 6 centimetres away from the base of my gooch. For reference, 6 centimetres is about...
the size of your dick?
Yeah. 2.5 inches.
2.5 inches.
So slightly bigger, actually.
I was going to ask a horrible question, but I realised your mum listens to this podcast. But yeah, what else happened last episode? After Eurycleia found out, what did he do?
He said, "Shut your fucking mouth, you bitch!"
Not quite, but yeah.
Oh, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Didn't he threaten to kill her?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then Penelope can't wait any longer. The guys, the suitor's like, right, you have to choose us. And she goes, okay, I'm going to choose you, but you have to complete a task, something to make you as worthy as the old Odysseus. And she's still hoping that he might turn up, but she thinks he's probably dead.
Yeah.
But so this beggar Odysseus is trying to compete with the other suitors as well. And that's where we kind of left off. Is there anything else we need to add?
No.
So
shit's about to go down.
Shit is about to go down, and here we go. So, Penelope ascends to the upper chamber of the palace, where Odysseus' famous bow is kept. So famous, it's the first time we've heard about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like his... I think we'll hear more details about it in a second, but we haven't heard more about it. Let me know, and we'll chat about that. Odysseus had received the mighty weapon years ago from Iphitus, a friend whom he met shortly before Iphitus' death at the hands of Heracles. Odysseus had kept the bow in Ithaca when he left for Troy. Now Penelope retrieves the bow and its arrows, and, as well, she collects her husband's strong axes. There's 12 of them in total, I believe. So she brings them down into the main hall and offers her challenge to the suitors. Whoever can string the bow up properly and shoot an arrow through the 12 handles of the axes consecutively, as in shoot through all of them with a single arrow, can claim Penelope to be his bride.
I recognise this famous challenge.
Yeah, whereabouts?
This is a thing I've heard of before. It's also the beginning of a film production house.
Yeah.
It goes like through that.
I'm not sure which one it is necessarily, but yeah, I think this is quite a famous bit because you have to shoot through 12 axe handles, which is like pretty small pickings as well. Also slightly impossible as well, because if you had 12 axes just standing up, like I think
because of the curve, because of the gravity having its effect on the arrow.
Yeah,
it would,
so it can't just shoot straight flat. If you know what I mean.
Unless you can do it. Unless I suppose the point is, unless you fire the arrow you're so strong that you can fire the arrow so quickly that it remains straight enough.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I think for the purposes of this, I think it might be dangling down, so it's like kind of hanging on ropes. You have to shoot for all of it. If you know what I mean. But the hard thing is. That's not the main challenge. The main challenge is to string up the bow properly, because it's essentially like a bit of old bark and wood, but Odysseus is able to thread it up properly. But no, like imagine it's like a really bendy piece of wood, and you're like just trying to. It's really hard to get a handle on it as well. So, but it's a bit weird though. Like Penelope, after 10 years of trying to like stave off men, she goes, "Okay, just."
She doesn't know that Odysseus is back, right?
No, she doesn't know. But she's like, well, if you shoot some things, I'll be your wife, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Or is she purposely doing tasks she knows they can't do?
Exactly, that's the whole point. Yeah. She's
trying to make it seem like she's interested.
But then again, in the same vein, it's a kind of not a win-win situation. But if someone was able to do it,
then she'd be like, shit.
On the same, but it's the same kind of mind as Odysseus, if you know what I mean. They might be a nice person, but they're certainly maybe worthy of kingship, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So. Although Antinous, the lead and most antagonising suitor, he is quite cautious of the task. However, he believes that he'll be the one to accomplish this feat. So, Telemachus, Odysseus' son, who has been helping him concoct his plans, Telemachus astonishes the suitors by expertly setting up the axes in a perfect row. He had never before seen them set up in this way. Claiming that his mother will be freed from her obligation to remarry if he can accomplish the feat. Telemachus is the first to attempt to string the bow. So, I get that, because Telemachus is the first one to have a go, so no one else has to marry her. But he's not going to marry her. I mean,
no, he's saying, if I do it, then none of you will.
Yeah.
He's like the veto.
Yeah. Imagine that, for like, actually, Mama, come on home. Because my name is Telemachus Oedipus.
Dun dun
dun! After failing 3 times, Telemachus almost succeeds in stringing the bow, but a quick sign from his disguised father makes him surrender at the last moment.
The suitors, at Antinous' bidding, take turns attempting to string the bow. The first to try after Telemachus is the prophet Leodes, who fails to string the bow.
If he was a prophet, surely he should have saw it coming.
Yeah, he should have seen it coming. Fucking idiot. Anguished, he announces that death is preferable to losing the goal for which they have all striven so long. Surely such death awaits all those who failed in the contest. Well, he's a fun guy, isn't he?
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, come on, guys, we've been waiting for this for 10 years. Oh.
I'd rather die.
And we will all die if we fail. Alright, mate. Calm down.
Antinous quiets him down and then orders Melanthius to start a fire and bring tallow to limber up the stiff bow.
Do you remember who Melanthius is?
I do. He is Telemachus' friend who he brought on the boat. No, he's the evil suitor.
I think isn't he the goat
He's a
herd?
guy in the Odyssey.
He's a goat herd, right? He's the evil goat herd.
The evil goat herd, yes,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I might be incorrect, but I think...
No, I think you're right. He's the evil goat herd. I thought he was evil something.
Because we've discussed before Eumaeus, who's the lovely swine herd, and he's nice, but Melanthius is a goat herd, and he's a bit of an arsehole, isn't he? You know.
Yeah.
So, Melanthius is the goat herd, and what happens?
The goat herd... Oh, literally.
You know what? In both, because earlier I was like, oh man, I don't know if we just read along, right, this wouldn't be essentially I'm mansplaining my own podcast.
The goat herd, well done, Matt, complies, and the suitors resume their attempts at the bow, but to no avail. Eumaeus, that's the swineherd,
yeah,
and Philotitus.
Philoetius, I think.
Philoetius.
I think,
that's a good name.
I think Philoetius is...
Philoetius.
I think he's a cowherd, and he's also very nice.
Oh, okay. Eumaeus and Philoetius wander outside the hall, and Odysseus shortly follows them. After ascertaining the extent of their loyalty, Odysseus suddenly reveals his identity to them, proving his authenticity with the scar on his leg.
Okay.
This is a big deal for Eumaeus
Big
as well.
deal, because the guy he's had at his house for the last couple of nights...
The guy who's been helping him.
Yeah. Because if you were a Eumaeus, and you did a lovely accent of his before, how would you react in this situation?
What accent did I do for him again?
A very Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, oh yeah, that was it.
Yorkshire swineherd, yeah.
Yorkshire swineherd. Eumaeus, it is I, Oedipus. Oh, bloody hell! Oh, flippin' heck. Oh my goody god, golly gosh.
You said Oedipus, by the way, not Odysseus. So if it was Oedipus, we're like, oh, you're the motherfucker. Podcast listeners, you don't know this, but every time, because Dan does a portion of the episode description for the notes, but every time, because Odysseus and Odyssey are quite hard words to spell in all fairness, but every time Dan spells it differently, a bit like Shakespeare, it changes the spelling every time as well. It's
I think I spelled it wrong so many times on my computer that it's like Microsoft now, like...
Do you have special needs?
Spell checks my own incorrectness.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a big deal. Eumaeus is like, that's like his hero, and he's like finally realised that this friend who's made is actually...
Firstly, he finds out that his master is still alive, that the person he's been looking after is his master. That's a massive thing.
And I bet he's like, I bet he's rethinking everything he said.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't tell me I ever like made a joke about Odysseus.
Yeah, I didn't say that thing.
Oh, please don't tell me I didn't tell that embarrassing story.
But also the kind of thing that's a little bit messed up here is that how well known is Odysseus' scar? Because I don't think...
It's very close to his thigh. About 6 centimetres in.
Right here, I'm touching your thigh again. Ow! Don't hit him with a ruler. But...
Sorry.
You're not sorry. So, yeah, but, like, I'm surely... If a homeless man just showed you a scar on his leg, that's not identity, is it? You know what I mean? Check out my... No, we don't want to look, mate. It's fine. But we don't mind helping you, but please. Yeah, so it's a bit of a... especially, like, that's the story which is 20 years old. And, like, if you, like, with 20... If your master is like, oh yeah, remember that story about me going on a hunting trip? It's like, no, that's not the first thing that comes to mind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's
true.
But
apparently that's enough identity and ID
for people to know.
For Eumaeus and Philolitis.
Also, how shit is Athena at making disguises that she can't disguise the scar, but she can disguise everything else about him?
Yeah, but also, like, as we discussed beforehand, like a dog could recognise it, but no human. Everyone else is like, wow, oh my god, yeah. Also, the thing that's slightly annoying me is because I think Philitis is not really much of a character. He's just a broadly nice guy, but he's kind of stealing Eumaeus' thunder here a little bit because he's just here for the ride, and he's getting the same kind of treatment, if you know what I mean. But I don't think it's as fair. But anyway,
Eumaeus and Philitis tearfully rejoice, agreeing to aid Odysseus in his vengeance against the suitors. After Odysseus has given them their orders, the three return inside, where Eurymachus himself at last picked up the bow. He's the evil suitor.
Was he one of Telemachus' friends? Oh. No, I think he's an evil one. Yeah.
He's like the leader.
No, I think Antinous is the leader. I think Eurymachus is like second in command. I think
he also fails to string the weapon and mourns not so much the loss of Penelope, but the realization of the suitor's complete inferiority to the bow's master. However, Antinous superstitiously uses the holiday as an excuse for this is hardly a holiday, an excuse for their failures. He suggests that the suitors sacrifice goats to Apollo the next day and then attempt one more to win Penelope's contest.
Imagine that kind of holiday as well. It's like, because firstly, they've been on the holiday for the last 10 years? Like, they've just been hanging out. Secondly, that's also the same excuse I use whenever I'm at home for Christmas and then I'm losing in a game of Scrabble. It's the holiday! It's the only reason I'm losing!
I love that they do the bit like, right guys, you have to sacrifice a goat. And then Melanthius is like, guys, I'm running out of goats here.
Yeah. And like, he's the guy who's just been helping out as well. And also, I don't think a goat's going to help your problems, is it?
Well, it can do.
Yeah. Has a goat ever helped you in your problems?
No, but I'm sure it would do. If I was starving to death on an island and I came across a goat and I slaughtered and ate the goat and then I could survive for a few more days and I got help, then that would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
You're listening to Radio Stockton. What would you do on a desert island, Dan?
I think I'd be alright, actually.
Do you reckon you'll be like Bear Grylls in it?
Yeah, my only problem would be if I had to eat a banana.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. But what if they grew Weetabix on the desert island?
That's fine.
Would you eat dry Weetabix?
I would if I could.
Yeah, on a desert island circumstance.
If I could, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I could.
Yeah, well.
Did I tell you what happened the other day, by the way? Sorry to interrupt this incredible podcast. This is very quick, guys, and I think listeners will understand my pain. Ran out of Weetabix the other day. So I had to have some of your shit Weetabix.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Christmas Weetabix. This is April now, and you're having
because I really have
Christmas
to.
Weetabix.
Only if I really have to do I eat it.
Do Weetabix have a sell by date? Like, do you have to eat them by a certain point?
I guess so.
I think it was just like chemical biscuits, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, radioactive. I went to Tesco's to buy some more Weetabix. There wasn't any.
What?
There wasn't any.
Maybe there's so many fans of this podcast.
The last few days I've had to not have Weetabix until I managed to purchase some recently. And I just wanted to tell you that.
I'm sorry. How have you been coping?
Been having Cocoa Pops.
Maybe if you didn't eat like 18 Weetabixes a day, that would probably save it.
Save some, yeah.
But also, I got a couple of friends who listen to the podcast, and there's one person.
Good to know.
Yeah, because I have friends as well. But like, I was asking my friend, oh yeah, so what do you think of the podcast so far? And all she said was, your friend eats so many Weetabixes. And there's a certain. I was referencing episode 11 where I have my gay outbreak as well. Not gay outbreak, that sounds awful. I mean, my kind of gay reconsideration, I guess. And I was like, oh, have you got to the weird bit yet? And she goes, in all fairness, Matt, with the two of you, every episode's kind of weird. I was like, fair point, you got us down. Anyway.
Right, back to this. So, no one can do the bow. And they're about to sacrifice a goat and do another contest.
Yeah, so we'll do it tomorrow. We'll probably be better. But that's also not part... Imagine the Olympics. It's like, oh, we fucked that up. Well, I guess we're going to have to... We'll do it again tomorrow. It's like, you can't get a do-over, you know what I mean? However, it is, at this moment, that Odysseus, and the only people see Odysseus as a beggar, he requests to try the bow in order to see if he has retained the strength of his youth. Antinous violently protests, telling him to sit down and be silent, or they will ship him off to be mutilated by ruthless kings. Penelope mocks Antinous' scorn, suggesting that they let the beggar make the attempt. I kind of like Penelope, because she's still giving them sass as well. She's also one of the most... Like, again, I don't want to throw too much shade into the Greek mythology, but she's one of the most full of female characters we've seen. You know what I mean? She's not just a 2D character. She's actually she's quite a little bit sassy with them as well, for good reason. So she asserts that the stranger cannot win her in marriage, and that he only wants to try the bow for personal reasons. So he can't marry her, which is unfair, but fair enough. Eurymachus admits, however, that it is not the suitors' fear that the beggar will win Penelope. Instead, they dread the scandalous reproaches they will receive if an old beggarly man succeeds where they have failed, so their reputation's on the line. Penelope continues to mock the suitors, but Telemachus takes the opportunity to silence her and send her away to her upper chamber. Well, I like when Penelope mocks the shit out of them, but... she has to go upstairs for a very important reason. Yeah. So, Penelope has left the Great Hall.
Yeah.
So, it's just them, all the suitors, Odysseus, Telemachus,
and the
swineherds, and goatherd as well. Although startled by his brashness, Penelope obeys Telemachus and retreats to her room, where Athena sends her into a deep sleep. Now she is safely out the way for the events to come. Eumaeus, following Odysseus' plans, picks up the bow and starts carrying it towards his master. The suitors immediately start threatening him, and the swineherd, daunted by them, returns the bow to its place. Telemachus, however, recovers the situation by offering Eumaeus some threats of his own. His angry speech makes the suitors laugh, and while their mood is lightened, Eumaeus takes the opportunity to bring the bow to Odysseus. So Telemachus is like playing the part, if you know what I mean. The swineherd, following his orders, then commands Euclea to bar the doors to the hall and to leave them closed no matter what the clamour she hears inside. Euclea being the maid on the inside as well. Philitius uses a strong cord to tie up the doors on the outer courtyard. He then returns to the great hall, the doors of which are barred behind him by Euclea. Odysseus sizes up the bow, examining it deftly from all angles and all sides. The suitors are amazed by his expertise. He then proceeds to string the bow as easily as a musician strings his lyre. He plucks the string to test its resonance, and the suitors are astounded. He's actually able to string it up properly. Yeah. Drawing a swift arrow from the quiver, he launches the shaft through all 12 axe handles without even rising from his chair. At a nod from Odysseus, Telemachus rises, takes a firm hold of his weapons, and stands beside his noble father. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
It's quite dramatic.
is the end of the part 11. And next week, you're going to have to wait for the finale, because it's going to go down. Are you excited, Dan?
I'm excited. It's quite dramatic.
Yeah, because
They've all tried. They've
Right.
all failed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they send them to the room. They're like locking the door. They're basically locking these guys in the courtyard.
it's like the red wedding kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's getting... Whoa.
And they're all thinking, wait a minute, what's going on here? There's probably like an eerie silence.
Well,
as
I don't think...
Oedipus just picks up the bow.
And it's gone... And everything's kind of straight in place.
And then they're all like, oh damn.
Well, so yeah. Anyway, let's go and rank this, Dan.
Hey there, my name is Matt Huss, and in this link I have an American accent, and I advocate the safe use of Miffs podcasts in small doses.
So Dan, how do we rank this usually?
We rank them out of 4 categories. Out of 10.
We have 10 categories and we rank them out of 4. Yeah. What are the 10 categories? So we have, well, obviously there's life skills, creativity, morals, and WTF. But what are the other 6? There were 6 categories.
We rank the women out of their hotness. We rank the men out of their hotness.
Oh yeah, that's balance. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we rank the men on their sense of humour. Rank the gods on their ability to do their thing.
We also have the
This is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Life skills, morals, creativity, and WTF.
So let's talk about life skills. What practical things did we learn?
We learned how to string a goddamn bow.
Yeah. We also learned how to lock doors.
Doors. We learned how to fire a bow through 12 axe handles.
Yes. We learned how to humiliate people.
We learned how to sacrifice a goat.
We learned how to get into a deep sleep.
We
We learned how to chastise someone for an acting role.
learned how to show someone a scar.
We learned how to point at someone's thigh. 6 centimeters away. And I suppose we learned something to do with the fact that, I don't know, I think it's decent.
I think it's decent too. 5.
How do we do this system?
Okay.
You already said your answer, but how about we have to guess what the other person's gonna...
We've done that before. It never works.
Yeah, let's not do it then.
5.
I'm gonna say 6. I think it's more than average.
Fine, 6. That was a lot, to be fair, compared to other episodes.
Yeah,
And
and
we actually did have to... It wasn't that many different things, but we learned a lot about the things that they did.
yeah, it's quite in-depth. So
6.
morals. The things we learn and be more ethical about.
Well, we learned not to be... I don't know how to word it, but their egos about the fact they didn't want to be shown up by a beggar. That's kind of harsh.
Yeah, and they won't let him marry Penelope because he's a beggar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, I guess it's like just how you treat people and not to mock people because of who they are. If you know what I mean? In that status, you gotta be kind to everyone. Sometimes it's better to be a little bit horrible for a greater reason, like when Telemachus is horrible to Eumaeus,
or to his mum when he's like, go upstairs. He's doing that because he knows that it's about to go down.
And also, I guess that if you are true of heart and true of strength, that you are able to accomplish anything.
Yes.
Like 12 axe handles, because all those guys weren't good enough people. Weren't good enough people to string in. But then again, Odysseus does have a gun on the side, so it does kind of outweigh it.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think, Dan?
I think
5.
5. Yeah. Bang average.
Not too much, not too little.
Doesn't matter.
So creativity.
Creativity.
So a lot more stuff happened in this one than previous episodes, because he did quite a famous challenge here.
He did.
He shot the Odyssean bow.
That's a very famous challenge.
So how creative is it, Dan?
It's pretty creative.
You want to elaborate?
I would say... Well, there's quite a few... I like the creativity of how it was described, actually, in this particular scene. How they're closing the doors behind him. How the suitors, with like dramatic irony, we know what's about to happen. I really thought the imagery of him, like, this old beggar picking up the bow, stringing it, and then firing arrows across
It's dramatic, isn't it?
They would have been like...
Yeah, it's an awe-striking moment, isn't it? And
Telemachus picking up the weapons.
Yeah, and like him revealing his identity as well. Finally, at this last minute as well. Like he could have probably done it earlier.
Was he still disguised as the beggar?
Yeah.
And
he goes,
they're just like, wait a minute.
By the way, I'm Odysseus. By the way, that's how he's from 1930s from New York. And
so they definitely know he's Odysseus.
Yeah. And so that's why the reason why they're helping him do all the bits and bobs, because
No, but I mean the suitors. Would they ever realise? Do they just think it's a beggar who's very good with an arrow, or are they like, shit, it's him?
No, I think they think it's just that beggar's really good.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I'm sure that and things will be enlightened soon, if you know what I mean. But then again, it doesn't seem. It's not crazy. Like in terms of, it's more than the previous episodes for sure. But I feel it's still not crazy. So maybe a 5.
I think a 5.
Is it 4?
It's probably a 4, isn't it?
It's not bad.
It's less than average, though. Not a huge amount actually really happened.
But then again, there's stuff like him stringing at the bow. This kind of stuff never happens. It's not an archetypal myth. This is I think it's different enough for it to be a 5.
Okay, I agree.
It's innovative enough. And finally, to WTF. Not overly crazy.
Nah, not crazy at all.
The fact that a beggar's shooting something through, and I kind of like the fact that Penelope mocks him as well. That's quite funny.
That's quite fun. It's a bit WTF again. The fact that they didn't let him the beggar. They've been a bit harsh. They're like, I don't want a beggar to do it in case he's better than us.
Yeah. It's just general suitors, but again, maybe like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, give it a 2.
Because there's no gore, there's no real.
Give it a 2.
2, yeah?
Give it a 2.
So, the scores are 6 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 equals 18.
18.
Axie.
In the trout.
Oh, I've never wanted to said that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Bit like, Ganymede's butthole.
Ganymede's butthole.
Oh yeah, Ganymede's butthole. So, Dan.
I think I'm excited to know. The Odyssey's about to come to an end, Matt.
After 12 parts.
After 12 parts.
Did you ever think it was going to be this long?
No. I didn't know they'd be in the student's house for this long. Actually, I thought they'd kind of arrive, and then within 2 episodes he'd be like done. But they've been in Ithaca for. He actually arrived in Ithaca ages ago.
Yeah, but I think he's just taken a while to just because he's got this plan in place, and he just wants to because he's heavily outnumbered. So you've got to.
So this is obviously the plan, right? Get them in the courtyard, lock them in.
No, that's not.
They're obviously quite good fighters, though.
Oh, let's find out. Let's not say any more, because if you want to hear more about it, check into next week's episode for the finale of the Odyssey. And it's been an absolute treat to go through it with you, but we'll talk more about that next week. But is there anything final you want to say for this episode?
No, thank you, everyone.
So
5 stars on iTunes, please.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, you can email us at misspodcast@gmail.com or find us online social media at misspodcast on both Twitter and Facebook.
And also, congratulations, Matt, that we read that all in order.
Yes, I mean, that's the whole... Actually, sorry, that's supposed to be at the very start. This is the first story of the Odyssey, actually, yeah. So that's why it hasn't made sense, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this myth, and we'll catch you next week, guys. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.
Miffs.